I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. I can't believe it. I'm getting old, guys. But look, in that time, I've seen a lot of people start businesses, but I've also seen a lot of people go out of business. And I get it. It's really hard to be not just an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur in the day and age of social media. Because in our news feeds every day, we got tips and tools and tactics being crammed at us, and we don't know what to follow and what to ignore. Now, what I've seen among the entrepreneurs who've been able to stay in the game successfully is not necessarily the people who follow the hottest trends, or people who are the smartest, quite honestly, or even people who are the hardest working. It's the people who follow the fundamentals that are able to stay in business. Michael Jordan once said that if you stick to the fundamentals, everything else will rise. And I completely agree that this applies to business. So what I'm excited to do in this video series is break down what I consider to be the 8 fundamentals of successful entrepreneurship. The most important thing we need as entrepreneurs to succeed is sleep. That's right. Forget all this team, no sleep nonsense. We all need between 6 and 10 hours of sleep every night. And the reason why is because every day our brain is generating dangerous proteins. And it's those proteins that really make us stupid, right? Slower recall, reduced memory. So we need sleep every night to clear it out. So the question becomes, how much sleep do you need? Well, a strategy that I use, and I suggest you try it, is look at your normal wake-up time. Count back 7.5 hours and go to sleep every day at that time for a week. If you're noticing that you're not waking up before your alarm, then push back your go to sleep time by about 30 minutes and keep adjusting until you can wake up without your alarm. The lesson here, folks, is that once you've identified your sleep time, right, how much time you need to sleep, make it a priority to get it. Being a successful entrepreneur is really about taking care of your brain. And how do you do that aside from getting a great night's sleep each and every night? Well, that is your diet. And here's the first thing that we have to do with our diet. Eliminate all refined sugar. Now, what's refined sugar? It's all the crap that you're getting in the Starbucks drinks that you're pounding back every day. It comes from white breads and pastas. It comes from anything that says fat-free and all the sweets that we have, unless the sweet is, natural or it's coming from honey. The reason why refined sugar is so bad is because it makes us stupid. It lowers our mental acuity. It drops our memory. So we need to get all of this out of our diet. Now, the next part is the brain to gut relationship. It's crazy. I mean, it's fascinating, actually. It's bi-directional, right? So if you're feeling a little anxious, you feel it in your gut. But if your gut is not in a state of calm, your brain won't be either. So the lesson here is, when it comes to diet, drop all refined sugar and learn how to clean and strengthen your gut. We all know that exercise is good for reducing ailments like heart disease and stroke. But did you know, for entrepreneurs in business longer than 5 years, they typically fail, not because their businesses have failed, but because their bodies have failed because of ailments like heart disease and stroke. But exercise gets even more important when you think about what scientists are saying, that exercise is the #1 cognitive enhancer in the world. That's right. Better than reading any book or taking any course. If you want to increase your memory, increase your thinking skills, you have to exercise. And you don't even have to get crazy, like start running like I did. As long as you are vigorously walking 30 minutes each and every day, do something for 30 minutes. Your brain will thank you. One of the most fascinating things to me about the top entrepreneurs from all around the world is that most of them have morning routines. Now, each routine is a little bit different, but the similarity is that they're all highly structured so that they don't have to make any major decisions early in the day. They could save all that cognitive power, once again, focus on the brain, but save that power for later in the day. I'll give you an example of my morning routine that I started about 2 years ago. Wake up at 4 a.m. I put on clothes that I've set out from the night before, so I don't have to decide on that. I go downstairs and I drink some Pau Darko tea. I haven't even brushed my teeth, but I drink that tea, right? Then I meditate for a little while, work out for a little while, read for a little while. It's not until 7 a.m. that I start to get my boys ready for school. My point here is that I have not made any major decisions for the first 3 hours of my day. No email, no none of that. The focus here is that once you get yourself a morning routine, you could save all of that brain power for bigger tasks later in the day. Every entrepreneur I've met who is crushing it has a physical, real-life mentor. But how do you get one? And I know it's hard because it took me 4 years to find one. Here's how I suggest you do it. #1 is you want to ask yourself, are you first mentee material? Are you willing and wanting to be critiqued? Number two is you want to identify people who share your values. Otherwise, you'll be guided in the wrong direction. Number three is you want to identify the goals of these potential mentors, and you want to help them get there. That is adding value to them. And number four, this is very important, you want to elevate that value over time. I remember it was 3 years of a relationship with a potential mentor when I found someone to acquire his business. That was huge. It put me on his radar and it really cemented me with him. Ultimately, your potential mentors want to see you demonstrate your potential because they want to know that their investment in you will be put to great use. One of the best things you could do for your business is find a mentor. Ultimately, your success, and I'm not talking about the longevity of your success, I'm talking about the heights of your success, is based on one thing, and that is how good you are at a certain set of skills. Some of the best research I've ever seen on this topic is written in this right here. This is actually one of my favorite books of all time, So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport, that shows a direct correlation between skill mastery and success. This is the reason why CEOs and leaders who read the most books, on average 35 books per year, why they read predominantly professional development books, because these books are predominantly skill development books. And they read them for two reasons. One, it teaches them what skills to focus on. And two, it teaches them how to efficiently focus on the skills, how to execute, how to practice those skills. Your success is directly tied to how good you are at a certain set of skills. So folks, the lesson here is read. And if you don't want to read, join my Knowledge Share program. It's free and I break down these skills every other week. We are living in an entrepreneurship obsessed society that suggests that you should start your business no matter what, right? You'll figure it out later. And the problem with this is when you look at what's happening. We are now near a record high of business failures. Nearly 90% of businesses within 5 years will fail. Now, what's the reason for this? Well, I think the answer is when you look at the group of entrepreneurs who are growing at the fastest rate of success. And that is entrepreneurs ages 55 and 60. Why is this? It's because that group has 10, 20, 30 years of practical experience. Remember what we just talked about. Your success is based on your mastery of skills. Part of that mastery is the theory. The other part is the practice. You have to practice those skills. This is the reason why it is very important for you to get out here and volunteer and to intern. Whatever those skills are that you believe you need for your particular industry, you need to practice them on a daily basis. Last up on the 8 fundamentals of successful entrepreneurship, we have joining a mastermind. Now I know this may sound a little self-serving because I've just launched my own masterminds that I'm personally guiding, but the reason why I've launched them is because I love the concept so much and I love the results. If structured in the right way, what a mastermind does is it puts a small group of entrepreneurs together who have similar passions, similar values, and are all working through similar problems. And together, as a unit, you work out solutions to those problems. One of the scariest things about anything in life, namely entrepreneurship, is feeling like you're doing it alone. In a mastermind, you are never alone. So I encourage you to please, for your business, join a mastermind. And if you don't have one to join, it'd be an honor for you to join mine.